I honestly thought it was much better than I anticipated overall. Casting choices were great. The ending, I want to talk about the ending and like what it's leading up to. If you haven't watched the film yet, go. Hey guys, and welcome back to Fortune Theory for a solo review today. And this is my first solo review. You've probably watched Patrick's solo review of Last Night in SOHO. Sorry. Yeah, so I'm going to be talking about Eternals. So I watched it yesterday. Yes, I know I'm about like maybe 2-3 days late to the party, depending on when you're watching this video and when it's released on our channel. If you're new to us, please feel free to like, subscribe, comment. We always love the publicity. Any publicity is good publicity. I want to thank everybody for supporting the channel so far on my behalf, personally. But yeah, enough of that doodah. Let's get straight to it. Eternals. What a different film. What a different film indeed. I went into it worried because the reviews and the ratings on Rotten Tomatoes were abysmal, and it was below Thor: The Dark World, which is the lowest rated Marvel movie. And I was concerned, and I knew people don't like stuff that's different very much. And I knew this was a very different film. I had a personal belief, and one of the podcasters I watched called Emergency Awesome, who I'd recommend to check out, by the way, because he does really great breakdowns, both agree that it's a bit like Dune in terms of the fiction side of it and the genre side of it, more than just the average Marvel movie. It's a lot more word of mouth than action here and there, but the action sequences definitely do make up for it. There's a lot of unexpected plot twists and turns. There's massive timeline shifts as well in the film. We're like 5000 BC to present day to back to the BC periods, just to and forth, because these characters, obviously, as in the name implies, Eternals, they live throughout the whole of history. They come from the planet Olympia. They basically come down to Earth to protect the human race from creatures known as the Deviants, who threaten human life. And that's all that they have to do there. They're not allowed to interfere with the affairs and evolution of humanity, because they need to learn to strive on their own. However, some of them feel a bit reluctant to abide by this rule, such as Druig, and I cannot remember the actor's name who plays him, I do apologise. Fastos, who's kind of like the Tony Stark of the group, because he's like the engineer. He's like created things like a model, like a steam engine, at one point in the film as well. And like obviously, I don't think he interfered in terms of like humans actually developing that creation, but it's something he did. So maybe he did, maybe he didn't. In the MCU timeline, of course. So of course, as you'll notice, I'm looking more at the camera because I have less excuse to look at myself or Patrick as we're talking. I'm trying not to. So like, just yeah, there's no reason. But yeah, I honestly thought it was much better than I anticipated overall. Casting choices were great. For the ending, I want to kind of talk about the ending and like what it's leading up to, because you know me, I'm a franchise guy. I love to continuity, everything like that. If you haven't watched the film yet, guys, what are you doing here? Come on, go watch it it's in the cinema now. It'll be on Disney Plus probably within the first 4 months of next year, either Premier Access or free, and it'll be on DVD roughly around that time as well, DVD, Blu-ray. Your opinions on how that's going to evolve in the future as well, if it's all just going to be download or DVD, Blu-ray. That's what this video is sponsored by. Put your thoughts in the comments. I'm joking. So it ends with Chris kind of being almost a traitor to the Eternals. He is a member of them. And I did some background research on him. He's pretty much like one of the leaders of the group in the comics. And the film kind of made you believe for a moment he's kind of like that lead male star focus. It kind of pulled away to focus on the character Cersei. I can't remember the actress's name, but I know she played Minerva in Captain Marvel as well. And Kevin Feige realized that she was so great. So obviously her character as Minerva was killed off. So there was no reason why the actress couldn't come back to play another completely different role, and it not to somehow cross paths or jeopardize that other character, because they're the same actress. So, but yeah, I suppose you can get away with that anyway. I don't know. My personal opinion is that I like the idea of thinking that every actor in Hollywood could be a Marvel character individually, and you wouldn't have to duplicate or repeat. But obviously, we've got Mahershala Ali playing Blade, and that happened during that post-credit scene with the Kit Harington's Dane Whitman, and he's going to be Black Knight going forward in the comics. So he's basically kind of like this British Marvel superhero. He's had affiliations with the Avengers and other superhero teams as well. And he'll be definitely a character that we see going down the line in the future. And the person who spoke in the background, apparently I've heard multiple rumors about this, and I think it was him, because it did sound a bit like him, was Mahershala Ali's Blade as well during that post-credit scene. Harry Styles is playing Eros. I think I've pronounced that right. Is basically Thanos' brother, And the first thing I had my mate say to me when we were in the cinema was, "Why is he not purple?" And I remember watching a video on this ages ago about, like, Thanos obviously was born, but he was born, there was a complication or difficulty after his birth or something like that. And so he became, because he was like part deviant, he became purple, whilst the rest of the species just looked more humanoid. And unless they retcon that going forward, but hopefully not. There won't be an Eternals 2. The way they'll kind of continue all the each characters is that they'll just sort of like sprinkle them out through other movies. I expect they'll return in like Avengers movies, like the way the Guardians of the Galaxy did, other side movies and whatnot, because they've all kind of gone their own way now. So I'm interested to see how it all pans out in the future. But yeah, Icarus's betrayal, I think I lost tangent there. Basically, they're trying to prevent this celestial Tiamat, I think he's called. It's basically a yellow version of Irishman, who's the guy, who's the the celestial guy who basically sends the Eternals to Earth to protect them from the Deviants, protect humans from the Deviants. But actually, there's a other purpose there. They're basically going to assist and prepare for the time for when Tiamat is ready to be born. And basically, he's born. His birth is basically almost like his growth, and as they say, emergence when he's born, which would come from beneath the Earth's surface and basically destroy the whole planet. Some of the Eternals want to stop that, and some of them, including Icarus, who knew of that being their mission, would want to save him because it saves his life, and also with the birth of this celestial, in the long run, means birth to loads of other planets and civilizations beyond Earth, and then the only sacrifice would be Earth itself. So it's a bit of a controversy in terms of, like, you know, what would you be gaining instead of losing, sort of thing. But obviously, because it's a superhero film, there'll be a good guy Eternals, such as Cersei, who kind of takes the lead role in this. She leads like the remaining Eternals, using her powers, marbleize Tiamat before he actually emerges and destroys the planet and save the day, pretty much. But Richmond gets annoyed about their betrayal for not committing to their mission, so he basically abducts Cersei, Phastos, and Kingo and takes them away. And then obviously you've got Harry Styles as Star Fox, aka Thanos' brother, and his little like companion Pip. I didn't like the CGI very much for that character, I'm not going to lie. Who want to save them, and then there's like the whole Eternals return, because they have that at the end of every film. But yeah, we'll see how it goes going forward. I'm not entirely sure how they're going to take it. It's just overall there was a lot that was very different about it, and I think it's good different. I don't know if it's exactly based on how the comics portrayed it in terms of things like Icarus's betrayal, but at the end the character commits suicide, he flies into the sun, and that's kind of a metaphor on like the name, because one of my friends pointed out yesterday that all the names, like a lot of Marvel names, are taken from like Greek and Norse mythology and whatnot. And there we go, Icarus, spelt without the K in Greek mythology, was the son of the master craftsman Daedalus. I think that's pronounced. I do apologize if that's wrong. Creator of the labyrinth. Icarus and Daedalus attempt to escape from Crete by means of wings that Daedalus constructed from feathers and wax. Daedalus warns Icarus first of complacency and then of hubris, instructing him to fly neither too low nor too high, lest the sea's dampness clog his wings or the sun's heat melt them. That's what it is. Not too familiar on Greek mythology personally, but it's definitely an interesting take. And obviously, I don't know if it's something you can really copyright. I don't think. I've been told that you can't really copyright mythologies and religions, so because you know they're it's free will publicly. But again, if I'm wrong about that, let me know. I'm still learning, guys. I did like the fact that they had actual like film cameras in shot as well with Kingo's assistant, that like film director. I know that didn't grow on me 100% because it was more played for character exposition and comic relief, but I think it definitely helped keep the film moving and entertained where it slacked a bit because of its serious tone. Like, it's very dramatized, I think, compared to a lot of the other Marvel movies we've had. And I think because of all these differences and controversies, that's the reason why it's had the low rating. But I definitely recommend to go watch this film if you haven't already. And you need to understand future projects in the MCU, as we do for all the MCU projects that come out. We got the first 2 episodes of Hawkeye coming out on November 24th, getting ready for Christmas and to not clash past the Christmas Day date. and to clash with the release of Boba Fett if they were to do one episode a week, and the last one would release on the 29th of December, which is where the Boba Fett series debuts, and so it's actually Christmas related. So that'll be the next thing that both myself and Pat, or either one of us, do if we decide that these solo reviews are working down the road for the next few weeks. If you've got any questions or anything you want me to elaborate on in one of our follow-up videos, or any chances that we have, whether it's us doing it together or us doing it separately, let us know in the comments. Also, let us know if you prefer us doing these solo reviews or if you prefer us just talking together like we have done from the start. Again, let us know in the comments as well. And also let us know if you want me to stop doing that, to say something in the comments and just tell you, I would add effects, but Pat's the master behind the CGI of these videos sometimes, shall we say, or the effects and whatnot. I'm just the guy that talks. But yeah. Anyway, thank you very much for tuning in today, guys, and I'll see you later. I think I might get a bacon sarnie. Yeah, I'll get a bacon sarnie. Icarus. The name. Something to do with going into the sun, which was, again, the interesting metaphor onto the character's death. I'm going to quickly look that up, actually, because I'm not too familiar. See, I'm learning with you.